Hey guys, welcome back. I thought I would take you along today and show you how I am setting up my new cash envelope wallet binder for the foreseeable future. So I have had one Amazon purchased cash envelope budget binder for, I think it's been 2 or 3 years. For $6, it's held up pretty well. And my son gave me an Amazon gift card for Mother's Day, and so I ordered a new one. So we're gonna get this set up and ready, and the old one I'm going to turn into a binder for the categories that I don't need with me all the time. So we'll get into that. I do have some extra of the zipper envelopes, so I'll be using that to set up the second one. And I just thought I would show you the categories that I have and how I'm going to be setting that up for our budgeting needs. So I went ahead and pulled everything out of this one. Oops, no I didn't. That's kids' allowance. Monies that were shoved in there. Okay, now I think I've pulled everything out of this one. The reason that I'm replacing it, because it's still in pretty good shape, is these card holders go the whole way to the bottom and they were getting worn out, so I would put something, in the top and then it would slide the whole way back behind. So that was the main reason for me needing to replace it. These envelopes are pretty much all shot. I don't even zip them closed usually, but they split down the sides eventually, and I could tape them up, but a couple years ago I had bought some extras, so I had these already sitting and waiting, and I'll just use those for this one. Like I said, everything's pulled out. And then the new one, I thought it was going to be more of a orangey kind of color, because I actually ordered a new purse too, and it's orange, like orange and a little bit darker brown than this, but this will be fine. It doesn't really have to match, and it's got purple behind it, which I didn't know either, but it's gonna get the job done. So it's gonna be basically the same thing as what I had before. Card slots, and then the binder part, I'll have to take those out here. This actually has a couple other slots over here, and then I do carry a checkbook and a checkbook register, and I'll put the checkbook there and the register here, and I'll be able to keep track of all of our expenditures and stuff. And then also in that, when I opened it, I think there are 12 envelopes, and these actually are not as good a quality. Maybe I'll flip-flop. Maybe I'll use these ones in the new one and this in the old one. And it had some budget sheets, and I think these are, sorry guys, let me get this open, I'll be right back. Okay, so the budget sheets, you would do like what you're spending money on, where, the amount, all that, in each envelope. It could go in there. I don't know if I'll use them. I never really have. As long as I know there's money in the category, it doesn't matter so much to me. And then these are the pre-done labels that came with it. And then there's some blank ones here for other categories. And I know there'll be at least 1 or 2 that I'm gonna have to do on my own. So let's get this set up. Okay, so we have the envelopes into my new budget binder, and I'm going to show you the categories that we keep. So first of all, in the front is always tithe. We tithe 10% of our income to our local church. Tolls. Our little town is right on a river, and the river is only accessible by a toll bridge. It's a privately owned toll bridge. It costs us $1.50 each direction, so every time we go to church or to this town on the other side of the bridge, that's a $3 round trip toll. And so I keep anywhere, depending on the week, $9 to $12 in ones in here so that I can cross the bridge. Personal is anything that I personally want. I usually get about $50 a month for that. You guys will notice most of these were category labels that I had to make myself. This was one of the few that they actually had already pre-made. I do have a Cricut, and I had done that for the old one, but they really didn't last that well, and it's not really worth the extra effort at this point. Household is like our animal feed and toilet paper and cleaners and clothing kind of ends up coming out of that, even though when I record my expenses, I record it separately. It still comes out of this envelope. Food, gifts, and I do keep the gifts one with me all the time because you just never know when you're going to find something for someone, and so I like to have that one with me. Education is for our homeschool, and so that can be like printer paper and pencils. Oh, there's a spider. Anything like that. And then entertainment, we usually just call this category family fun. If we decide to get ice cream while we're out somewhere, or we decide to go to a farmer's market and spend money that's kind of outside of the grocery budget, any of that stuff comes out of family fun or entertainment. Oh, and also like if we go to a thrift store and decide to buy a movie, that's entertainment. Coupons I keep in here. I don't use a ton of paper coupons, but Big Lots does some paper coupons, and then like some of them that are printed at the kiosk at the register. And then the last one that I have is receipts. As I'm shopping, I just tuck the receipts in there so that when I get home, I can record the expenses, what categories they were in, and then scan them into, we use Coin Out and Fetch for points for gift cards. So I will restock all of these here in a little bit, but that is the end of my new one. And now I just need to do the envelopes for my old one, which is going to be savings categories. So we only have a couple of things in here, and then I do still have quite a few of the envelopes that I can use for things that come up, because a lot of times we're saving for a short-term thing, something specifically that isn't going to be in here all the time, but that would be helpful for those times, like if we know there's an event that we want to go to or something big that we want to purchase, we can just use that and add to this. And then I will just put this away in the house. This isn't things that are going to be carried with me. So meat animals, right now it's just pigs. We get 2 pigs every year from my parents, and that costs us about $100 a month while they're growing, and then about $300 to $400 in the fall to butcher them. So that goes in there, and then whenever I see my parents, I can just pull out the cash in there and give that to them. Christmas, I don't need to keep with me all the time. If I do happen to find something, I'll just take it out of the gift budget and then, you know, switch it up whenever I get home, but it doesn't need to be with me all the time. Vacation, sometimes that ends up being the same thing as Christmas because we use Christmas money that we don't spend to take a short vacation after Christmas a lot of times. And then miscellaneous, because we do like to have just some cash on hand for things that come up that we would need it for. So things that you'll notice are not included in either of these. Hold on, I'll show you my face again. So things that you'll notice are not included in either of the budget binders would be bills. None of our bills go in there. They're just paid automatically out of our checking. Any kind of like long-term savings like our emergency fund, or even things like our vehicles, like if we need tires or a battery or something like that, all of that just goes into our savings account online, and we don't have to keep cash for that. We also don't pull out cash for gas because usually we have children with us and we're not going to go into the store to pay and you know, leave them in the car or have to unload everybody and go in. So we just use our debit cards at the pump, and we know we get a certain amount every week. My husband gets a certain amount of money every week, and I don't have any place for that because as soon as it comes out, it goes to him. So there are some things that we don't use cash for, but most of our discretionary categories we do use cash for. So that is what that looks like for now. I'm going to finish filling in, put the cash back in my wallet, and I will be done then. So I will talk to you guys very soon, and thank you so much for being here. Bye.